Morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I am your host, Elliot Pierre. And we're going to start today's episode off the same way we start every episode off, with a moment of gratitude. I know you could be doing a million other things with your time, and the fact that you spend it with us truly does mean the world to me. So thank you. On that note, Tanner, hit him with the intro.
Hey everybody, Keith Simpson here from Norel Toyota. We support the Oil Barons. We've joined the drive-in movie theater. We're involved in the marathon here in Fort McMurray, and that's what makes this community such an amazing place to live.
And we are back. I'm missing all of your calls today.
Yeah, for real.
Like I literally just turned my head right when you give me the nod. Norel Toyota, thank you very much for being an ongoing supporter. We really do appreciate it. For everybody at home, as you know, I don't introduce my guests because they can do a better job of that than myself. So, sir, can you reintroduce yourself to the people at home?
How's it going? I'm Mike Jones, Canadian Mental Health Association, and also with Swamp Rat Experience.
There we go.
And a little show action here.
Nice. I have a new title for you.
Okay.
The episode hasn't aired yet.
Okay.
And I was hoping I'd bump into you before it aired. So, we had Jerry Nevels on the show last week, was it, Tanner?
Yeah.
And he gave you... And we all already voted on it. This is your title. You have to live with it now.
Okay.
It's unanimous. You're the king of Fort McMurray.
The king?
The king of Fort McMurray. Jerry said it. We couldn't be more happy about it. Dude, you rep this city hard, bro. Like, you do so much for this community. We had, like, a whole brag session about you on the show. Like, your events this year, like, have been off the chain, man. Like, you've transformed Fort McMurray. You bring people to Fort McMurray.
You're at every event that isn't your own.
That's right.
Try to be.
Dude, you are on fire for years now. This is not like, oh, this guy just showed up.
Yeah.
Like, you've been doing it forever, and it's recognized, bro. So
Thank
Jerry
you.
Nevels dubbed you,
Thank you,
the
Jerry.
king of Fort McMurray. Official.
Good to be king. Just kidding.
So yeah, man. Anyways, that's your new title.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna make tons of clips about it. So that's you now.
Get a Burger King crown or something.
Yeah. So you're here to talk about rent, though.
Yeah,
That's the main thing. Before we
absolutely.
get off topic, let's talk about that.
This is a dream show for me. I've always wanted to do this show since it's weird because I saw the movie first. I remember renting it at shout out VHQ back in the day.
Yeah.
And then saw it and I was like, wow, this is like rock. Like I'm like most show tunes or musical theater I'd seen at that point or heard was like West Side Story. It was like, very that kind of thing. So I was like, this is like rock. This is like Green Day. This is awesome. I love this. So I went out and bought the soundtrack. I think it was on iTunes at that point. It was just come out like 2006 when the movie was out.
Right.
And then got obsessed with the soundtrack. And then we actually went on a family cruise. It was a Puerto Rico to New York kind of thing. And then when we got to New York, we had a day in New York. And I'm like, I want to go see Rent. And I remember my dad was like, I think my mom and my brother went and saw Shrek, the musical or something like that.
Okay.
And me and my dad went and saw Rent. And he was expecting, he'd never been to Broadway. He was expecting, come to the cabaret, old John. Like the lights, the glamour, the kick dancing and all that. And it was he's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like, it's like gritty, like grunge, punk rock, like kind of in your face stuff. And he's like, well, like he liked it, I think, in the end. So.
Nice.
And it was really cool. And I'm going to show this on the camera here. I got a little dog tag that day. This is 2006.
Okay.
This Rent, and I put it on my keys. It says no day but today, which is from the show.
Okay.
And because of various fires and garage sales and such things, this is probably the oldest thing I own.
That is
Mine is my birth
cool.
certificate.
Wow. So this one has an impact for you.
Yeah, this has been a show I've wanted to do for a while. I've definitely nudged Alan or nudged Hannah and been like, can we do Rent? Can we do Rent? Can you guys do Rent?
Right.
And I've always wanted to do the role of Mark too. So
you got the role you wanted to play?
The role I wanted, yeah. I was
wow.
I remember when I went into auditions and I thought I did a really good job and I was happy with my audition, but at the same time I was also like, I did Mary Poppins, but I haven't really done as many shows as I had been doing in the past.
Right.
Because of how busy I've been with everything else.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, they're going to give me like an ensemble role. And I'm just going to be like, just stoked to be a part of it. I was like, I'll be a tree. Like, I was a tree in Mary. I was a flower in Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be a fly on the wall for this.
That's right.
And then they called me. They're like, is like, we want to offer you the role of Mark. And I was
Yeah.
like, and then I was like, okay, nut up or shut up time. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome.
It's I've been drinking more water than I've ever drank in my life before, just because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear like the voice is like, it's so much singing and so much going through it, right? So
Yeah. I've never seen, heard. I know nothing about this play.
yeah,
I'm
really.
so pumped to
Oh,
go.
yeah, you're gonna go in blind.
You
and
guys
you're gonna
are
love it.
selling this so well, by the way.
Thank you.
Like, I've heard about it. I'm excited about it. Like, I
Yeah.
go to a lot of things, and
Yeah.
some things I'm like, yeah, I'm excited.
that was fun.
That
I
was
get
good.
it.
Whatever.
Good
but
art,
like,
you know.
this is like, I'm hyped to go to this. Like, I'm glad I have my ticket already, and I don't have to
Yeah.
like mess around. Like,
Yeah,
it's gonna
exactly.
be, it's gonna be like, from everything I've heard,
Yeah,
it's gonna be wild.
it's not like, I mean, there's obviously been many imitators and duplicators over the years, but
Yeah.
when it came out at the time in the mid '90s, or sort of in that era where grunge was a big thing right now, right? But
Yeah.
it's just compared to everything that had come before it,
Right.
it blew the walls off of Broadway, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because, like,
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. When I thought musical, I thought I was going in for that.
Yeah. Da, 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 da,
And so
yeah.
this, from like hearing about some of like the subject matter,
Yeah.
and hearing like now you've added another layer to this that they
Yeah.
like
It's
everybody,
it's a rock opera,
Yeah.
right? This is like,
and it seems like it speaks to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems like everybody has their own emotional memory and attachment to
Right.
this play.
yeah, it's one of the ones that I think it's on a lot of people's minds. And if you're to talk about some of, like, maybe the top 10 or top 5 even, like,
Yeah.
Broadway shows of all time, I think it comes up, especially in our generation.
Right.
It comes up a lot.
Yeah.
But it's also a show that's not done as often as some of, your,
Yeah.
I guess, different generations, but your Grease and your West Side Stories, which are still
Right.
awesome shows in their own
Right.
right, because this is very difficult
Yeah.
to pull off. A lot of it's like a triple threat. A lot of the characters, not only is there a lot of singing, there's a lot of movement and dance, but there's
Yeah.
also a lot of acting and a lot of heavy subject matter, right? That it's
Yeah.
like, it's difficult to pull off, right?
Yeah.
So you need,
Yeah.
and I've just blown away. Like, a lot of, I've worked with a couple people or known a few people on the cast before, but a lot of these people just kind of came out of nowhere, and they
Right.
maybe moved to Fort McMurray during COVID and, like, didn't really get to experience the art scene here, and now they're like, they came up for
Right.
auditions, and that's what I love. Swamp Rat's been amazing at kind of finding those new talents, and because there is so much talent that's established here in this town, right?
That's right.
And you go and see a show like Clue, and you see, Zenon and Brody and Tim and all these guys that are just like,
That's right.
I would go see them every weekend if they did a show. I'd be like, yeah, I'll be there, because they're so hilarious and they're so good.
They
So it's
really
like,
are.
but when you have multiple productions happening at the same time, it's like you have to rely on finding new talent as well, right?
That's
So-
right. That's right. But that's what keeps the scene
And that's what
alive
Swamp
too,
Rat's
right?
done such a good job at, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, listen, Tanner tapped his watch or phone, so that means he is ready with his questions for the Mac City Minute.
Perfect.
But before we jump into that, we're going to throw to an ad from Carrie from Patchouli Rose. Carrie,
Nice.
take it away.
Hey everybody,
Hi everyone, it's Carrie with Patchouli Rose here at Thickwood Barbershop. If you're wondering what to get your loved one this season for Valentine's Day, I make an all-natural anti-aging skin serum called Good Skin. It's good for men and women, and it's available for purchase here at the barbershop, downtown at the Corridor Shops and Events, and on my website. Thank you for your support.
And we're back. Thank you, Carrie. Really do appreciate your ongoing support. Tanner, in with the Mac City Minute.
All right, question number 1 for you today. What do you think is the hardest rap song of all time?
Like, to pull off?
You're-
Oh, like best.
You choose the
Okay.
criteria.
Yeah, because I was just
Hardest.
thinking hardest. Like, what do you mean? Like, hardest to like kick flow to? Hardest like just impact? Like,
I was like, hardest to do at karaoke would probably be like either Rap God Eminem or like Busta Rhymes.
yeah,
Protect Your Neck. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
that's like
Yep.
impossible. Hardest for me, geez, I like a lot of, like, I love Nas. Going to see this weekend. I love Atmosphere. Is one that doesn't get a lot of respect, I don't think, as much. So
Yeah.
some of those guys I mess with.
there you go.
Question number 2. What is your top 3 dishes in Fort McMurray that someone coming here would need to try?
Okay, so definitely the mushroom. Is it mushroom ravioli that they have at Straka's on the Sny? Is absolutely awesome. Big fan of the wings at the Black Horse. I think just to experience that atmosphere too, it's just such a fun pub. I would say honey garlic or your choice, but get a little Dave's hot sauce on the side. Dip. Awesome. Third one. Oh my gosh, I'll have to think about this. There's so much good.
Oh, there's so much good stuff.
there. And I'm just like blanking.
Yeah.
Like trying to think like where do I go all the time? Like
Yeah.
It might have to be the Brie Berry at Mitchell's. Well, no, I'll say Sweet Chili Heat because it's just such a essential part of the storyline. I know that's kind of of course you'd say Mitchell's, but it is. You have to go to Mitchell's.
No, it's a crown jewel of
If
this
someone's
city.
visiting, you got to go to Mitchell's, right?
Yep.
Question number 3. As the king of Fort McMurray, who would you say would be on your Mount Rushmore of Fort McMurrayans?
Oh,
I hate these questions
That's
because
such
I
a
want to
hard
answer all the
question.
questions, but
because you could have like a theater Mount Rushmore. There could be a music Mount Rushmore. You could be, oh my gosh.
yeah.
I mean, I'll go like with a somewhat safe answer and just talk about like some of the people that have been here forever and are like, I think Sandy Bowman, you have to have Sandy on there, right? Just because he's been here forever. I'm gonna throw in like there's friends, but someone that's just like behind the scenes. I guarantee she would decline it. She
Yeah.
wouldn't do it, but Michelle Landseedle.
Oh yeah.
Because she's just such a volunteer. She's at everything.
She really is.
I might put Verna Murphy up there just because everything that she's doing right now with Heritage Village and how like that's been going really well. And then it was Mount Rushmore was 4, right?
Yeah.
You got 3.
Yeah.
I love this question.
Oh, this is like the hardest question
I
ever.
know, I
this
hate
should
it.
this should be on Hot Wings. Like
Yeah.
I should be eating like
Yeah.
the hot wings right now. This would be like the last wing, and you're just like sweating.
Yeah.
I'm still sweating. I'm just like because I'm gonna forget somebody that I'm like, oh my god. Just because we're on the topic of theater,
Yeah.
Alan Roberts.
Oh,
Alan's got to be on there just because of
Yup.
everything that he's done with Keanu. And I know there's like there's a million other people
Yeah,
that
like,
that deserve to be there because
yeah.
of like the guys that have backed it financially and everything like that, and
Yeah.
supported the arts and supported everything. Like a guy like Mike Moore who
Yeah.
sponsors everything is also like, yeah, I don't know. That's such a tough question.
Yeah.
Question number 4. What do you think is one talent in Fort McMurray that people sleep on
A talent that people sleep on.
from Fort McMurray?
Okay. Geez, there's a lot. There's a couple people in the show right now in Rent that people might not even be sleeping on because they might not have even heard yet.
Yeah.
But once this show comes, they're not going to be sleeping on them anymore.
right.
Musically, I think some people are still sleeping on. They don't play as much, but Good Spread. Good Spread always put on a great show. And then Adam Bugden is another one. I think some people are still haven't had the chance, and he's just coming out of like he was playing around the campfire up until last year, and now he's playing full-time gigs, and he's just phenomenal. I love his attitude, just such a positive dude.
Yeah.
Firefighter as well, right? And he's just big mental health advocate and just killing it on the music scene right now. So
There you go.
Adam Bugden, stop sleeping on him.
And your final question. What do you think is the coolest toy you've ever played with?
The coolest toy?
Yeah.
Probably the Technodrome. When we were a kid, you know, like it was Technodrome. Oh my god, I can't remember the name. The Shredder, like
know
the
what you're talking about.
you know
I know
exactly,
exactly
right?
what
Ninja
you're
Turtles.
talking about.
My brother had the set. I think I had the Ninja Turtles lair, which was still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he had the Technodrome, and that was pretty cool. It like opened up and stuff came out of it.
Those
It was
have been
pretty
your
rad,
5
yeah.
questions.
This has been on set for a few weeks now. Check that bad boy out.
Oh my gosh, this is the Ninja Turtles van.
Yeah, with the door opening. I have
There
like.
you go. Oh, it
that's
actually
like-
opens.
Yeah, that's the luxury model. I have another one over there that's just like your typical Hot Wheel
This is your
one.
basic one.
That's a premium, and then he has the main
I love that you guys had the Hot Wheels.
Oh,
Such
yeah.
a badass.
It's a crippling addiction in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got some. We'll talk about it off the camera with you, but we got some exciting Hot Wheel news going on.
Oh.
Yeah, we're pretty pumped about it. So
Stay tuned.
yeah, that's exactly it. So with this, like, I don't know how you do all of it, dude. Like, cause I know people who have been in plays. Like I get it. Like it's a
It's a lot of
huge
commitment,
time
yeah.
commitment. And so I could understand why somebody like you would be like, listen, I can't put that kind of commitment behind this because I do everything else.
Mm-hmm.
How has this been for you? Just trying to like accommodate this into your already hectic life.
It's been it's a lot of it is the way they've scheduled this show is we started a month earlier. We also like auditioned before the summer, so we've had
Right.
basically the whole summer to. It also helps that knowing the songs growing
That's
up, but
right. Fair enough.
now knowing them, but not knowing versus knowing how to sing them and knowing your parts
Yeah.
is a lot different, which is something. But I gotta say, our like Swamp Rat, just the whole team, Hannah, Zen, and everybody for the way they've scheduled it, but just the directing staff, like
Yeah.
Zach and Jenny, are just they make you feel so comfortable.
That's good.
And like Jenny has taught me so much about music, and then like Jenna and Courtney, our stage management team, and everybody involved with this show has been phenomenal and so accommodating. But I also got to give a shout out to like my CMHA team and the team at Balsam and my team, Kirsten, Isabella, Candace, Dave Boots, that are helping out with Tipsy Trivia and helping keep that going as well.
Right.
And Curtis as well, because
Yeah,
they've been phenomenal for that. So
You're partnered up so well with so many different organizations and people. Bro, I don't know how you do it.
I just want like people to have, because you get so many times where it's like someone's like, this is my short change, or I'm in town and I'm only in town for one night.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a Tuesday or it's a Monday, and it's
Yeah.
just like, well, if you're only here this weekend, there's a million things to do. There's always a million things to do on the weekend. I just
That's
want
right.
something.
Yeah.
Something fun to do on
Yeah.
that night, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
You gotta make it.
yeah,
That's like
exactly.
with us
Sometimes
and-
if you
yeah.
want something in this town,
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah. That's where like this whole rave idea came from myself and Tanner. It's just
Like, I want to rave. And
I
someone's
want to
like,
rave.
do it.
Yeah.
Just make it happen.
I wanted the culture in Fort McMurray. I feel like this city will benefit from something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, and there is like it's the appetite's there. Northern Funk's doing a lot of these
Yeah.
EDM shows and stuff like that, and I would party at like Lindsay and Eric's house and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right? As
that's
sure we all
right.
have. But we just like hang out at like friends' houses and stuff, and there's like this culture, and it's just like
That's right.
I'm not saying bring it to the mainstream. We don't need to put it, but
That's
like
right.
let's elevate it. Let's focus
right.
it and
Yeah.
find people that are like that they don't feel like they belong, and they find something they belong with.
That's
right?
exactly it. Because Fort McMurray's growing and changing in regards to like the demographic that's
Huge,
here, right?
huge, yeah.
So,
Still
like-
a very young city, very transient, but
Yeah.
a lot of people are making it their home now, right?
That's right. I gotta ask you. I gotta go back to it because, like, honestly, like maybe there's somewhere I can vote on this in the future. Maybe there is. Like, I'm bad at this kind of stuff, but your event, that Rock the Rails event this year,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I talk about it all the time. Like,
Yeah.
it's the pinnacle event that I've been to in Fort McMurray in ages.
This year, I feel like was the year we finally, I think, honed in, and it was
Yeah.
like coming out of it. Every year, we're like, okay, we got to do this next year. We got to go bigger. We got to go bigger. We got to go bigger. And it's like, obviously, you want to get bigger, but I think this
Yeah.
year was so good and so well
Yeah.
done. It's just like, let's perfect what we've done, and like let's hone on, like, still bring the energy, still bring everything, but like I think this year is the year like people got it,
Yeah, like
and
you.
people like, this is what this event is.
I forgot I was in Fort McMurray. Like, you transformed that
Yeah.
area to be like, I'm not in Fort McMurray. I'm not in Edmonton. I'm in this environment
the
called
X
Rock
Games
the
or
Rails.
something, right?
That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, like, me and Tanner are big vibe people. Like, hence, like, The Office. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
There's a way to set a tone.
Yeah.
Like, what's your thought process for an event like that? Because it's so huge, just
Mm-hmm.
in space alone. Like, how do you, like, it's hard enough to set a tone in, like, our studio.
Totally, yeah. Setting that atmosphere.
Yeah.
I think I honestly I got to give a big shout out to like Michelle and Dan and Darren, who were on the team this year, and
Mm-hmm.
some of the other, like, all sponsors obviously, but like just they were so. I'm just me. I'm the dreamer,
Yeah.
and getting these people that can like figure out how to execute things, right?
Right.
Because sometimes with events, it's like you can dream big, but if you can't live up to those dreams, it's like you need to hone it in a little bit, right? And sometimes
Yeah.
that means just downsizing and like, okay, well, I guess we're not doing what we said we were going to do. And
Right.
so, there's always managing expectations, but then
Yeah.
figuring out a way to do it and be able to bring things to life. And I think we really honed on it this year. And now, June 7th and 8th next year, right?
Yeah.
We're starting to work on next year already. So
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Tanner tapped his watch. That means we are out of time.
We always go over
I
time.
know.
I'm the worst for it. I'm
I
sorry.
know. Well, listen, me
Oh,
too.
you are not the worst.
Yeah.
Name names.
Yeah.
Name names. Tanner, hot five. Let's go.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. But before we cut you loose, you get a shameless shout out or plug. So you got the mic, the camera, the lights. Have fun.
I'm so happy the poster's right there. November 16th to 18th, Keanu Theater, Rent. It's finally here. Tickets are moving pretty quickly. We got a matinee on the 18th as well. I know it's a busy weekend in town, Festival of Trees, so plan accordingly so you don't have to miss anything. Get the Thursday ticket, get that matinee ticket, whatever you got to do. Don't miss the show. It's amazing. I got to give a huge shout out to the cast. It's just blown away. It's so cool to get in there and work with all these people every day.
There you go. Awesome. Well,
A name drop, but like I'm gonna forget somebody in that.
yeah, that's
Like,
all right. Listen,
Where's
you
the
come on
cast
the show
list?
enough that like you can
Yeah,
comment.
exactly.
Yeah,
I can't
you'll get
tell
them
ya.
next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, Fort McMurray with Buffalo, the rest of the world, thank you for tuning in. It does mean the world to me. Big shout out to our title sponsor, Norel Toyota, as well as Carrie from Patchouli Rose. We do appreciate both of your ongoing support. Hope everybody at home is having a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
It's so ballistic!
You go and just straight up talk before anyone.
Talk about quenching your ugly thirst.